Good morning, folks. Daniel again. Hope you had your breakfast tacos. I sure did. Rosa's Cafe in the DFW area. It's probably the only decent breakfast taco within about, 150, 200 miles of this place. That was one of the things about moving up here. The Mexican food, don't know if anybody's told you, not very good in North Texas. I'm from San Antonio, where, you can just dig into the ground and pull out a great chorizo and egg breakfast taco, but that's beside the point. Anyways, let's talk. What are we going to talk about today? Well, drum corps season ended, and if you're a fan of that, this may be the show for you. And if you're not, go find something else to do. DCI World Championships just ended. In case you've been living under a rock. 12th place Madison Scouts, 11th place Crossmen from San Antonio. 10th place Blue Stars. 9th was Phantom Regiment, then Blue Knights, the Cadets, Boston Crusaders, Blue Coats, Cavaliers, Crown, Vanguard, and then your DCI World Champion, the Blue Devils. I'll go ahead and tell you right off the bat, the Blue Devils are my favorite corps. It's been, I won't say it's been more difficult to defend what they've been doing over the past 10 years. But it's interesting when talking to people. Sometimes people will ask me, well, who's your favorite corps? And I'll tell them the Blue Devils. And they kind of give you this look. They're like, oh, okay, well, that's nice. Good for you. I'm going to turn the other way and be friends with somebody else. No. The very first drum corps show I downloaded was the 96 Blue Devil show. Just because there were all sorts of stylistic changes with the music and everything, and that's why I like listening to them so much. However, this year, lots of variety from all of the corps. And I mentioned this to a bunch of my friends while I was watching the broadcasts this past weekend. When was the last time you saw the top 7 corps get these rousing ovations? Just like people jumping out of their seats, just throwing babies on the field left and right. I don't think that's ever happened. I mean, just these closers and the way that a lot of these corps improved over the season. There were some shows that I didn't like at all when they came out in June. But because the staffs and because the corps members made changes to their show and, took out what didn't work and put in stuff that was a little more accessible, the crowd ate it up. It was a really good season. Even the corps that were towards the bottom of world class, I mean, there was still improvement from a lot of places, which is fantastic. Open class was great too. I actually sat through and watched pretty much all of the open class championships. And if you're thinking of starting out in the students, I'm talking to you. If you're thinking out and starting in drum corps, consider going with an open class corps. It's a limited tour. Your fees are not, as far as I know, don't quote me on this, but as far as I know, your tour fees are not as great as you would say, like joining a top 5 corps in world class. But if you want to start out, you want to test the waters, you want to see what it's all about, consider an open class corps, and trust me, the quality of product is negligible. Vanguard Cadets, the so-called B Corps of the Santa Clara Vanguard, they're like 16th or 17th this year. They're kicking everybody's butt. So don't think for a second that, you have to try out for a top 5 or a top 6 corps or else you don't matter. That's complete garbage. Consider all the other corps, give them a chance, because they want you. They want you there. One big thing people have been talking about drum corps this past season, and I'm not going to spend too much time on it because there's another point I want to get to. The amplification issue. It used to be a big time thing when it first came out. Oh my God! Now there's a keyboard, and now what's next? You're gonna put a guitar player on there. Now what's next? You're gonna do this, and people were coming up with all these stupid theories about what amplification could entail in the future. And of course, everyone was scared because change is scary. It doesn't matter if it's for good or bad. Anytime you change something that's been a certain way for a certain number of years, people are more than likely going to be pessimistic about it. And that's totally understandable. Yet several corps this year put their own microphones on the front sideline. So basically they could, when they needed to, I'm not saying it happened all the time, when they needed to, you could amplify the horn line, the entire horn line core, mix it in, pump it out through the speakers, give you a little bit more effect. Personally, I do not have a problem with this. If it's in the rules, use it. I've never had a problem with it. That would be a hard thing to monitor too, I think, unless you had some sort of rules monitor standing over the soundboard or standing over the person in the iPad who may be sitting in the audience, just to make sure that that's not happening. I mean, how do you police that? It's a new idea. A lot of corps, from what I've been told, have reluctantly decided to do that. But a lot of the corps feel that they need to adapt and change and try some new things that they may not necessarily want to try. I basically have two rules when it comes to whether I'm going to like your show or not. If it's within the rules, do it. If it's entertaining to me, I will jump up and scream and yell and cheer for you all you want. To me, entertainment is, if it's good, I'm entertained. I don't care what your repertoire is. I don't care if you have a deal with a composer. I don't care if you... whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care who writes your music. I don't care who writes your drill. If it's good, you have my attention. Whatever means you use to get good is up to you. So there's that. Students, this is, every now and then you're going to get issues with this next little quick topic. You have students coming back from drum corps. They've experienced a type of brotherhood and a type of sisterhood that they may not necessarily experience for the rest of their lives. They're around 150 people that have the exact same level of commitment, the exact same mindset of pursuit of excellence. And now, if you're still in high school, you get to go back to your high school marching band program. And a lot of them just did that. Saturday night, you did. If you're in World Finals, congratulations. Much respect to you. Jump on a flight Sunday or Monday, and more than likely you're back with your high school marching band. And you're probably treated like a hero. You have a new respect from your directors, a new respect from your fellow friends that you're going to march with this fall. However, the transition going from drum corps to high school marching band for a student can be very, very challenging. Because now you're going to be around band members that either don't know what drum corps is or don't care what drum corps is. And there's a good chance that if you marched in a corps this year, you're going back to your high school marching band, you're probably going to be in some sort of leadership role. How do you motivate those people that don't understand what you just came from? That's a huge challenge. Because they barely even know what high school marching band entails. They've never been to a football game before, or a high school football game before. The type of pageantry and the type of energy that can go into that sort of thing. How do you motivate those guys? How do you motivate those girls? If you've marched drum corps, you're going back to high school marching band, you have to find a way. Every person's different. And you're not going to be able to just lead one way and expect everyone to follow. You must be able to adapt to personalities. You must be able to change with personalities. You've got your dot book from Marching Drum Corps, and it's full of memories. It's full of difficult visual passages. And of course, you've been doing it so long and for so many times that the music and you can't have a musical memory without having a visual one, and vice versa. Now you go back to your high school marching band, you're probably not practicing on a grass field. You're probably practicing in some parking lot. And you're looking at your dot book for your high school program and you're going, really? That's all we're doing? Okay. Humbleness will get you through this season. Remembering where you came from will get you through this season. I've seen it go very, very wrong. I've seen students who have come back from a corps, come back from winning a world championship, and they get to their section and they still think they're in drum corps. They treat them and talk to them like they're on tour for the summer. They're two completely different things. The idea is the same. Yes, you move around on a football field, and yes, you're going to play music at the same time, hopefully. However, the level of maturity is not the same. You can say certain things to someone in your drum corps that you cannot say to a freshman in high school marching band who's never been to a high school football game, or who's never performed at the Alamo Dome, or who's never performed at an area contest. It's just different. You can't expect everyone to understand where you came from and what your motivations are. At least not right off the bat. You may think you have respect. You got your corps shirt on, you got your jewelry on, you got all your stuff. You may think you have the respect right away, and in most cases you do. But what are you going to do for those people who have no idea what you just went through? Well, I marched this corps this summer. The freshman player probably has no idea. They're like, so what? I don't care. Teach me how to move and play around the field, or I'll quit. Back in my day, I had to do that, but there were a lot of talented, and I mean talented, horn players in my high school marching band that did the freshman year of marching band, and they didn't return. Now, obviously, the reasons for leaving are different, but retaining great players and retaining great talent doesn't just stop at middle school. And that's definitely something I want to talk about in a later episode. The importance of the middle school program to a high school marching band program. Retention continues to happen even when you get those talented students on campus. Drum corps kids coming back to high school marching band. Don't be the reason why some freshman or some sophomore decides to quit the activity because of mistreatment or ignorance or just plain apathy towards them because you came from a big time corps. Don't let that happen. Be humble. Realize who you're dealing with. Realize that the situation has changed. I'm not saying you cannot demand excellence and a high level of performance from those kids. You can. But you have to go about it a different way. That will determine whether you are a successful leader or a leader that is going to have great challenges in the next couple of months. I think I'm done here for right now. Thanks for continuing to listen. I'll try to put out another one this week. But if you have any questions, comments, or anything, leave them in the message boards, TexasBands.com forums. I'll leave links so that you can download this and subscribe on iTunes and do all that great stuff. Thank you so much for the support. I really absolutely appreciate it. Hey guys, the first Texas Regional is in about a month. Are you excited? Okay, maybe you're not, but I am, so deal with it. Take care. Adios. Bye-bye.